On a scale from Sherlock to Merlin, how much did I cry? About Fault in Our Stars. Hi. I know I played with this in the last video, but I'm playing with it again because it's just awesome. Okay, so this is my review of the 2013 Doctor Who Christmas special. It was where 11 regenerated into 12. So Matt Smith into Peter Capaldi, which I'm really excited for Peter I'm excited for Peter Capaldi, but I'm really gonna miss Matt Smith. He was one of my favorites, and I wore one of the many Doctor Who shirts I got for Christmas. Trust me, I'm the Doctor. I could be, you don't know. I have a sonic screwdriver. It's so much fun. Anyway, okay, thoughts on the episode. The first time I watched it, I've watched it two or three times now. First time I watched it, there were interruptions with, people and stuff, but I was so confused. I had no idea what was going on. I didn't understand why he was trying to protect this town. And then later I realized it's just because he's the Doctor. He wants to save people, even if it's just this little smart little farm town, he wants to save them. Originally I didn't understand the whole plot line, but I did when we got to the end of the episode. First of all, guys, spoilers. Lots of spoilers in this video that I'm going to be talking about. But the end of the episode, I did understand enough that he was dying, and the Time Lords gave him some more regeneration energy, and I knew that he was going to regenerate now rather than just die because he was out. So I did, when I watched it the first time, oh my god, I just can't. I was just like, oh, fish fingers with custard, oh, he's young again, how fun. And then that moment, just her hand coming down the staircase and her painted nails and the ring, and I was just like, oh my god, I freaked out. Not even of my own choice, I started sobbing. And I'm usually pretty exaggerative with that. I'll be like, oh, that episode made me cry so much. Well, really, it just made me sad. I didn't actually cry, but I cried. I started crying and sobbing but laughing at the same time. Then she was there, and oh my god. And if you don't know who I'm talking about Amy. She came back just in the Doctor's imagination, but it doesn't matter because it was beautiful. And she was just there, and he was so happy, and and she said, Raggedy Man, good night, and which is, I made a Photoshop thing and then made it my phone case, if you can see. Yeah, I'll put a picture of that at some point. Yeah, and then it was just too much. And all the pictures that he had on the wall, I noticed in one of the gifs of her hand coming down the staircase, there was a drawing of her and little Amelia, or him and little Amelia at the table eating fish fingers and custard. Somebody had colored that, or drawn it on a paper like a kid's drawing, and oh my god, it was just so cute. And I couldn't. Everyone on Tumblr was like, hey, they're both wearing wigs, and that made me laugh too. When I went and watched the episode with my headphones on and I paid attention and got the plot line, I really did like it. It wasn't as action packed and crazy as I had really hoped for, but I'm sort of okay with that. It was still really good. It was a good way for Matt Smith to go out, and I really liked that he teamed up with the Silence. That was cool. The Silence are one of my favorites. I about had a heart attack when Clara was like, oh, it's just a statue hand in the snow. And then I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And I started freaking out. And the chemistry between Jenna and Matt are really good in this episode. They're cute. Even when he gets older, it's still cute. And well, it's so funny. Just as I start to ship Hooflay, for a long time I pronounced that Who Awful, and then my friend was like, are you serious? Can't you read? And then Hooflay, Souffle Girl, and the Doctor. Just as I started to accept that and get over River, I was just and then he leaves and he's gone. I'm just like, oh, frick it, whatever. And okay, I saw on Tumblr, maybe it's the BBC doesn't have that many sets, or maybe it was on purpose and they just like to do evil things, is that Clara happens to live in the same apartment complex as Rose and Jackie did, which is, it's lovely, isn't it? It makes me really sad. And yeah, it was a good episode. It took me a while to wrap my mind around the whole ending the regeneration cycle, getting renewed and stuff, but I went and watched Emergency Awesome, which is a really awesome YouTube channel for all us nerds, and I read the summary on the BBC, and it sort of cleared everything up. Those things really help, trust me. If you are at all confused, look them up, or maybe I'll link them down. Yeah, I will. Oh, it's work, but I'll do it for you guys. And yeah, it was just mind-blowing to me, because I remember a while ago that my friend was like, hey, I saw this thing with Stephen Moffat, and he told us to go back to our DVDs and count how many doctors there are. I'm like, what are you talking about? There's still only 11. And then when he just sort of nonchalantly was like, and then there was this one that went off in the parallel universe with this girl. I'm just like, oh my god, why did we not think to count him? It never crossed my mind that he would count as another number, like another regeneration. I don't know why it never crossed my mind. I was too focused on John Hurt and the War Doctor that I didn't even think of that one. So, which it's mind-boggling to have to think, so technically 11 is 13, and so 12 is 14, and you know, all that. I can't think like that. So 11 is still 11, and yeah. Speaking of the parallel universe, there was another theory I saw on Pinterest this morning, because this is what I do with my time. I look up Doctor Who theories and I read them, and yeah. And, but there was one that was like, because remember in Rise of the Cybermen? Yeah, Rise of the Cybermen, I think it's called, when, you know, Rose gets stuck in the parallel universe, and they're just like, well, the doctor said, well, I would go and get her back, but because the Time Lords aren't here, I don't have the power. I used to be able to do that all the time. Now we can't. But now that Gallifrey is back, and if they let the Time Lords back into this universe, we could go get Rose. The chances of that actually happening are probably pretty slim, but if it ever happened, I would be beyond ecstatic, because, but I just... And I know Stephen Moffat says that story is over, but to me, no story is ever over. I mean, even when they're dead, the story is not over. It keeps going and on and on. It connects to other stories, which can be made into a new story, and, like, that's how I am. That's, like, I'm that person, like, I don't care that everyone's happy in Harry Potter. I want an 8th book, which I guess, technically, you've got the Fantastic Beasts coming out, but, yeah, I got way off track there talking about Harry Potter and everything. Anyway, some other thoughts from the Christmas special. They were good. Only thing that disappointed me was the regeneration itself. They didn't have the big dramatic moment. I really love those moments because it gives me time to, like, cry and everything. But he kind of just sneezed, and you're like, oh, Peter Capaldi. It's like, I don't like the color of my kidneys. I'm looking forward to him. And he has a Scottish accent. I'm really excited for that, too. And I don't care if you have some other explanation, Steve Moffat. He has the Scottish accent because of Amy. Like, you cannot tell me otherwise. I don't even care what you say. It's because of Amy. And I liked that they tied up every single loose end ever. You know, with the 11th Doctor. They threw everything in there with the Big Bang and the cracks in the walls. And you know, and the silence, which was, I was, like, the fact that you had Cybermen, Daleks, Silence, and Angels all in one episode was just so much awesome for me. And I think out of those 4, I like the Silence the best. Everyone really likes the Angels, and I do like them, but I feel like, yeah, they're scary, but they're not, I don't think they're evil. Like, I don't know. I don't know. They're just not that evil to me because they send you back in time. They let you live a life. They don't just kill you. But the Silence are my favorite because that story arc was I liked that the best with the 11th Doctor, the silence whole thing with the Kavarians, which I like that they explained that they were a separate, really extreme, like, sect of the church. That girl, when I can't remember her name, Tosh, I don't know, that was probably really wrong, but the girl with the purple eye stuff, the head girl at the church, when her and the Doctor were flirting, I was just like, because I was watching with my friend Rylan and Kayla, and I'm just like, this is making me really uncomfortable, because they were just like really flirty, and I just, I don't know, I was like, go flirt with Clara, please, but it was fun. I think my favorite quote from the episode was when what's-her-face, Purple Eyes, why can't I remember her name? I watched the episode 3 times already. Oh well. She said, "Fly away, Doctor," and I just think that was really short and sweet, and it really just sums up everything. If someone came up to me and was like, describe Doctor Who in 3 words, I would just say, "Fly away, Doctor." I think that's the best. I think I want the Time Lords not necessarily to come back right away. Maybe that, I don't know if I want to wait till the finale for that, but I'm thinking maybe almost have 2 sides of the story. Like, maybe we have another Time Lord in there that's, like, really desperate to get back. And then you've got the Doctor, who's just maybe completely oblivious or something, I don't know. And you kind of see them both trying to come towards each other and maybe struggling with that. I don't know, I feel like that could be interesting. On the topic of Clara and the Doctor, relationship-wise, at this point now that he is Peter Capaldi, I think it should not be like a love relationship anymore. I don't know, I think with that, with his new face, I think that might change for her. I'm thinking with his age, maybe like one last kiss and then move on. I don't know what he's going to be, honestly. Like, with all the other Doctors, you could kind of tell how their personality was going to be in that first little scene. Like, with David Tennant, he's like, oh, new teeth. You could tell he was just going to be fun, but he was still a little bit serious with, like, that extra scene you saw later when he's like, well, I can take you home, Rose, if you want. And then Matt Smith was just a dork. He's like, oh, I'm a girl. No, not a girl. And still not ginger. You could tell he was going to be a little bit childish. But with Peter, what I got from that little scene, I feel like he's a little bit more free than the other Doctors were, because there's that hope there, there's that spark, and I think that will maybe improve his attitude a little bit sometimes. And there was this funny thing when they had that little stare where just after he regenerates, and there were like pictures of owls. They both looked like owls, just like oh my god, I'm so sick, I'm dying. But yeah, I think honestly this would probably make my top 10 episodes. Like, it's up there. And I think it's better than The Day of the Doctor, personally. Even though I did really like that episode. I got that DVD for Christmas, but it's definitely one of my favorites. So that is my review of The Time of the Doctor, the Doctor Who Christmas special of 2013. It is when the 11th Doctor regenerated. I think I'm gonna give it 10 out of 10 stars. Or 10 out of 10 TARDISes. Whatever. It's one of my favorites. I don't care how many times I watch it either. When Amy Pond walks down those stairs, I will cry. Every single time. I don't care where I am, I will cry. So, Happy New Year, guys. Can't wait to see when the Doctor comes back in a long time. God, it's gonna be a long wait. That's like, I'm not gonna do the math. What, 8 months? Frick. It'll be awesome. It's going to be, who am I kidding? But Sherlock is coming back in a few days. Oh my god, I'm so freaking excited. Yeah. I'm almost done with Supernatural, too. 2 episodes left in season 8. Those are gonna be fun. So, yeah. I'm pretty sure I'm dying, but other than that, it's gonna be a fun new year. 2013 was not a good year for anyone that I know, so let's hope 2014 will be better. And I'm wearing Monsters University pants. You're jealous. And Matt gave me a free bracelet. What is it for? It was for her, their new line. Couture or something, or I don't know. They gave me a free bracelet. So yeah, Happy New Year, and I hope that you continue to be a Whovian. It's really fun. Nerdy. Well, bye. Sonic out.